Okay, folks, we're live. This is Fred. This is okay, folks. We're live. This is Fred Caney from Valley Bigfoot and the Inside Virginia Squatch. To see, hold it, damn it, hold on.
I'll stop. She won't
I
make
do
Connie
that.
stop.
I do that all the time. Okay. Anyway, start
Right,
over
yeah,
again.
he
All right,
does.
be quiet. Hush up. Okay. All right. This is Fred Caney from Valley Bigfoot and Inside Virginia Squatch. This evening, who's talking?
Not me.
That's Connie's TV.
Turn it down.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Turn my TV
Anyway,
down.
anyway, our guest this evening was supposed to be in Lee Woods from North Carolina. Don't know. I can't remember what part of North Carolina was he from, Leo?
Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia, North Carolina, with the Uwharrie Bigfoot hunters. But regretfully, he got called into work, so we're gonna wing it tonight and everything. All right, Daniel's supposed to be on here as soon as he gets the message and everything. We're gonna talk about his our camping trip up there. And he's got some very good information, some good audio, and some damn good tracks. I grant you that much. He found some nice big tracks and everything. So, but right now we're gonna talk to Connie from Connie Fox from Lee County, Kentucky, and she tried a trick of mine, and I'll let her explain it. Connie?
Yeah, Fred told me a little trick. When you go out walking, when you hear them, just stop, look around. Just don't pay no attention to them. And then take off again. Then all of a sudden stop real fast. And when you hear them take a last step, take a picture in the direction you hear it from. And you will catch one. Because I did.
Yeah, she caught one. Matter of fact, if she would have had her video going, she would have caught it walking right by her. You could see its face, you could see its body, you could see it turn and look at her. That's cool and everything. But like on my trip, like when I went out and did it, I told people what I was going to do on the video, and I got a lot of slack on it. People said, "Oh, that's bull crap." Really? I told people that I'm going to go out there, I'm going to make them give the location away and catch them on video or on picture. What did I do? I heard them. I stopped, did a 360. I walked about 9 or 10 feet, stopped mid step, heard that crunch, turned my camcorder to the right, and zoomed in, and boom, there was one right there, 80 feet from me, and I actually got six of them in the video. You just got to know where to look in the video. I can't tell you where they're at in the video. You got to look at it. But you will see them
Yeah.
in the video. And that's one way how you can do it. But the thing is, you got to know when they're following you. If you know your nature, if you know how these critters move, like deer, bear, turkey, squirrels, rabbits, possums, skunks, you get to learn how if you're in the woods long enough, you get to learn how they walk, how they sound, and then you could add it all up. It's like when they make sounds. I've heard them make owl sounds. I've heard them make dove sounds. But there are certain birds that they imitate that they there's a particular note that that a bird will make, like a dove or an owl or a blue jay or something like that. There's a particular note that they hit that a squatch cannot hit, and when you hear that, you know it's them, and you know they're around you. Because they just give their location away. Then what you do is you just keep going. Look around. I'm being followed or something like that. But they will let you know where they're at without them realizing it, and it's very easy. Now, Ryan, when you're out there in your area, all right, your area is mostly what? Pines, pine needles, birch leaves and stuff, or what?
Got a lot of pine, got a lot of ash, maple, hardwood. Got a lot of mixture going on, but we got a lot of maple up here. So,
Okay. All
but
right.
but you'll get patches of pines, then it breaks into hardwoods, so it's a mix.
Cool. Do you let's see something here. Okay. Do you can you hear yours walking?
Sometimes it depends what location I'm in. If I'm in the pine cover in the pine thickets, no, unless they break a branch. But if I'm off in the hardwoods, but I notice they walk different in different areas. They'll be a little louder in the pines. I think it's like they know that they can get away with it because the floor is kind of covered.
Right.
But when they're in the leaves and stuff, they if they're out in the open hardwoods or they're moving through a section, they try to be more quiet in the hardwoods. You know, you'll catch some things. They go and stop. They go and stop. They go and stop. It's like they try to. It's almost like they try to mimic another animal, like a deer or something like that. You know, but a human ear can kind of pick off if it's bipedal or if it's quadruped.
Right. Do they um has this ever happened to you? You walk through the woods, and you hear them. I mean, you hear them moving through the leaves and stuff. Do they ever like throw a rock in another direction to get you off their scent, or turn around and look for where that rock landed, like you heard something behind you,
That
or
actually that actually just happened to me recently. I think I was live and Leo and a few other people were watching. Um, I was sitting there facing this section of woods. I don't know. It's probably a mile deep, um, but long. You know, it's about 40 miles. It goes a long distance. But anyway, I was sitting there, and all of a sudden I got a rock, and it was thrown from across the other side of. I'm getting some feedback.
I should probably bring my headphones.
all right, wait a minute here. Let's see.
Okay, that's better. Whatever you did.
I didn't
Um,
do nothing.
okay. Anyway, I did have a rock thrown from behind me, and it actually hit the embankment right where I was sitting, probably 4 or 5 feet from my chair. And I turned around and I was like, "Whoa!" You know, I could tell it was a railroad rock. It was a big rock. It was wham, and I heard it hit the bank, and I spun around and I spun the cameras around, and I proceeded to say, I just had a rock thrown, yada yada yada. So I kind of concentrated for a few minutes in that area. So I did take my focus off the front, and then all of a sudden, like, which would be my 10 or 11 o'clock, probably 3 minutes later, I had another rock come from the woods, and it landed probably 3 feet from my left foot. So I spun up,
Ah,
so I spun all the cameras back around. I was like, wow, I've never really had this happen from two different directions, and I was live while I was stating that. But it was pretty amazing. It was a little awkward because I was by myself. Um, but yeah, that's one of the major times that I've had it happen. I've had acorns and pine cones and stuff, but I can't prove that it was thrown because that they could fall off trees, and you know what I mean. But
well,
this was
pine
definitive
cone.
rock.
Wait, pine cones are light, so when they hit, they're gonna mostly bounce.
Right.
But a rock will you'll hear a thump when a
Yep.
rock's being thrown. So if you heard a thump, you had a rock thrown at you.
Yeah,
But
I actually seen the rock. I had just turned and I seen it land, and the leaves went like that. It like made the leaves go poof.
well, why didn't
Like
you go over and pick it up and show it to everybody? Say, look
I
what was
actually,
just
well,
thrown, man.
I was sitting in the chair. I did, and then I panned like right toward it, and I said the rock is right there.
Oh, okay.
And I panned and showed it because I was sitting in a chair trying to watch the whole area. I was just trying to get a feel. I think it was only my second time there. My first time alone in that area.
Okay. You got any questions, Lael, on that? On the situation between what we're talking about with Connie, with me, with Ryan, as far as the Squatch?
I remember I was watching Ryan live, when the rocks were thrown, and either there were two videos kind of back to back, one day and one the next day or the day after, and I heard a definite tree knock that he heard, and I saw something move in the right side that he saw also.
Okay.
So other than that, I missed part of the conversation and don't know what the original question was.
Okay. Connie, have you ever had any rocks
Yeah.
chucked at you while you was out bebopping around? And how close did they get to you? And I got
Only
another
once.
question for you. Do you think they could drill you at from about say about 75 yards? Do you think they could drill you from there on
Yep.
accuracy?
I've only had one rock thrown at me. But the reason why it was thrown, because I was 2 steps from stepping over a big blood. If they had to throw the rock in front of me, I'd have went over. I was 2 steps from going over.
So they threw the rock to divert your attention to paying attention what you were doing to that
Yeah.
bluff. So apparently you was looking up in the
Yeah.
trees or
If
looking
I had
around.
stopped, I would look to see where that rock went to and see what threw it. I would have went right over. And it was every bit 30 foot deep.
Yeah. Well, how's your
shoulders at the bottom.
how's your leg doing or your knee?
Look at all these fish I caught.
Oh, it's a lot better. There's something going down out of it now. That wasn't my knee, that was my hip.
Oh, your hip.
10 of them are gold stars.
I remember that story, Connie, that they threw the rock and stopped you, or you would have walked off the
Yep.
cliff. I remember that story. That's
Yep.
that's very interesting.
That's the only time they've ever thrown a rock at me.
Yeah,
They haven't thrown any more since.
I've had rocks about the size of bowling balls thrown at me a few times. Mostly it's behind me. Because I'll be walking along and all of a sudden you hear
Yeah.
boom, 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 and sometimes I can feel the vibration of the rock of the little boulder hitting the ground because I'm a male,
Yeah.
and when I go in this time of year, there's a lot of females in there, and the males are, I guess they are over jealous or something, and they don't like another male in there because they think
They
I'm
think you
dominant.
trying to steal their girlfriend.
What?
I said they think they're trying to steal their girlfriend. They take you as a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, they think you're trying to steal their girlfriends, Fred.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, but
You
when
are a masculine fella.
Okay, who lied to you? Okay. Anyway.
Anyway,
Anyway. Um. I want from the audience out in computer land. If anybody who has been out squatching or just even a trail walk has had rock stone at them, heard tree knocks or whoops or think they're being followed, ask me, tell me, tell me in short what you heard, how you felt when that happened. Was you scared? Was you excited? Was you going to freak out and run because you think you're going to kill you? Something like that. Ryan, unmute yourself. Did you get a hold of Daniel?
Of course, my dog is barking. I did message Daniel twice, and I did let him know, and that's what I was just doing right now. I was trying to message him again, so
Well,
maybe
he knows that I got the show tonight and everything. But I think I got it. I think I got it. Wait a minute. Good evening, guys. This is 3006 U.S. Marine Corps. Good evening, guys. Good evening, United States Marine Corps, my jarhead friend. Yes. You got any questions? Ask away. I got a whole panel full of guests here. I got Ryan, I got Lael, and I got Connie, who is a Bigfoot researcher in Kentucky. And of course, you got Ryan. He's up there in
Yankee
Yankee,
Land.
yeah, Yankee Land. Well,
Hey,
you know,
New York is
Gabriel.
fine.
oh, his name is Gabriel. Okay, cool, Gabriel. Yeah, New York is fine if you know where to go. Back
It's
in the
not.
mountain, 'cause
It's not New York City, Fred.
no, I didn't say that. I ain't that bad. No, you're above New York, right, or below it?
I am way west of New York City. I am 7 hours west of New York City, brother.
Okay, so you're in a are you in a mountainous area or are you just in a suburban county area?
Fear.
No,
I'm I'm about an hour and 10 minutes south of Niagara Falls.
Oh hell,
Uh,
you're up there.
yep, I'm about an hour and 10 minutes south of Niagara Falls. I'm right in between. I'm an hour from the PA border and I'm an hour from Canada. So I'm like exactly an hour in between. I live right on Lake Erie, and I mean the lake is about 9 blocks from my house.
Oh okay.
But the area I research is more inland. It's toward Pennsylvania. If I headed toward the mountains up in the hills, it's like the foothills of the Appalachians. That's the area that I'm in. It's going down toward. I have to get a map and show you actually.
Okay,
Um,
okay. I have a
I
question
think I know
here.
where you're
All right, I have a question. All right, I have a question on there. The 3006 Gabriel says, "What's your take on the Utah Sasquatch going dark and removing some of his videos?" That's the one where okay, yeah,
I loved it. I just did a live video. So Fred, go ahead and share your thought.
okay. Now, me and Nikki Colin had a little discussion on that on here one night, and we kind of compared a lot of stuff, that wasn't particularly right. We felt, something wasn't right, and then all of a sudden Tim Pisano bounced in like a basketball, saved the day. Like I proved that he's a hoaxer. And only thing I seen was the guy went out with his brother, but where was his brother at? The guys they had two dogs. It was two brothers, two dogs. One dog stayed with Rio. Where'd the brother go? But yet all the his brother's dog was running around like it was happy-go-lucky. But it was just too convenient for him to be in there and acting scared, but the dogs weren't scared. Like his Rio's dog wanted to go bounce around with his brother's dog, but he was made to stay, and it was just too much activity. Being that close at 9, 12, and 3 o'clock. To be for them dogs to be happy-go-lucky. And where was his brother at? That's the question. Why he took it down? Maybe he got figured he busted, or he might have got pissed off and said, "Well, if that's the way y'all gonna be, screw you, and I'm taking my shit off the internet." Point blank. Okay, what's your thought on that, Leo? Unblock yourself.
Hank, give me just a minute. Come back to me in a minute. I got something going on.
Okay, all right, how about you, Connie?
Yeah, when you said it to me earlier, that's the first time I've seen the video. I didn't even know the guy. 'Cause I hadn't
Uh,
seen none of his videos.
okay, all right. The scenario
I'm
is,
like you, though. It did look strange.
yeah, all right. Here's the scenario. All right, him and his brother went out in Utah, went out to this area, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but his brother was nowhere to be found. It was him, it was Rio and his brother, and they had their dogs with them. All right, for some reason his brother wasn't around, and his dog was running around like happy-go-lucky, but the sounds that you were hearing was not guttural. And one of the sounds,
No.
I guess it tried to act like a baby squatch, but you could tell it was something, it was someone tried to imitate, and they screwed up,
I
and
didn't know. I didn't know that his brother was supposed to be there at all.
Well, I
And
saw
I
the
watched.
dogs in the video, and they didn't act
all right, Leo, you remember
those
the,
dogs didn't act right.
yeah, um,
I watched the Mudwalla video
that's it, that's the one.
several days or a week ago,
Yeah, that's the one me and Nikki
and
had. That's the one that me and Nikki had the conversation with. We were talking about.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I don't remember anything about his brother um being there or whatever. I do recollect two dogs and one dog,
yeah.
maybe,
The
but
yellow lab,
the
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 yellow
part.
lab was Rio's dog. The other one, it looked like a kind of a fat German Shepherd. That was his brother's dog.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, the video I watched several days ago before all this come about, there was a point where he said he heard, and I told you this earlier, there was a point where he said he heard a noise from here, a noise from here, a noise from whatever. And I
Yeah.
didn't put the headphones on, but I muted the television, and with everything turned up, I didn't hear anything, which isn't uncommon because a lot of times the audio doesn't pick up. And so what I saw today that Fasano posted, I watched, and you could hear the sounds if Rio just went back and magnified the audio. That's not hoaxing. But
Well, he said
I
that
don't know.
yeah Pisano said that he stereo infused it. Now on the video it just says amplified. Fasano thinks that he hosted and stereo fused it, and by him doing that and a couple other people raising hell with him about it, like Gabriel said, it is strange that every video he had action like he was trying too hard, too much, too soon. Now, what's your response to that, Ryan?
Well, I got a whole slew of responses. First, I really liked the
Yeah, you,
guy. I liked the guy in the beginning. I actually was telling you guys about him and everybody else. He played the ADHD game. I have ADHD, so I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm new to this, so I'm going to go ahead and try this whole thing out. And the reason I'm getting into this is because my nephew and I had a conversation, and the conversation was the nephew was telling him that Sasquatch was real because his nephew's friend's dad seen one. Rio stated, no, no, they're not real, da 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 da. Later, he goes home and says to himself, well, I was being biased. I was being the same person I was telling my nephew not to be. So, in good judgment, he went out and decided to start searching. He's got some military experience, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah,
Um, it comes up with a theory that they have these strategic things and they move like stealth or Navy SEALs, the way they walk through the woods, which is actually, it was a pretty good theory, but he was getting too many things all at once. And then all of a sudden, like, something in my gut turned me off to him. All, like, real quick, about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, even before all this happened. And I started telling people I'm backing away. Michael Merchant and Christopher Noel, everybody was praising the guy. And then he started asking for money for gear because all he had was his phone. And then he was going into suburbia. And in the one video, he's like, you know, nobody ever goes back here. And he goes and knocks on the lady's door. And the lady's like, oh, yeah, the neighbor across the street, you know, stores all his equipment out back. And he kind of like tried to talk over her when she was saying that. So it's like, was he trying to do this for money? I mean, he got 3,000 subscribers out of it in a
Yeah.
fairly quick amount of time.
Yeah.
I missed all that.
Yeah, this was one of the other videos. It wasn't in the Wallow video. It was one where he was walking down the street and supposed Sasquatch was up the thing when his dog went running, and I don't know.
Oh, no, okay, now
So,
I saw that. I saw that clip. Yeah.
right.
Go ahead.
So anyway, like he started. If you noticed, if you go back and watch his videos, well, you can't now because he took them offline. He takes them offline after Fasano and all these other people or whoever approach him and say, hey, this video you made, somehow the audio is tampered with. Now, why are you tampering with audio? No, there's only one reason you would tamper with audio. Now, if I up the gain or lower the gain on my audio, it doesn't sound like it did. That sounds like it's, let's use Fasano's word, infused. Now, I can't prove that. Now, if Fasano comes out and states who did check this video, who analyzed this video and has the proof of, hey, this is how they did it, this is how it was done,
Exactly.
then there's your proof right there. But Rio, instead of Rio moving forward and actually saying, hey, this is what I did. No, I just changed the audio. All of a sudden he goes dark. Bang. Gets rid of everything. You had to download his videos. Now they're like gone except two. Something doesn't make sense. And then he started, like, in his videos, he'd be in his car. He was talking. He'd be like, you know, playing on your heartstrings, on your emotions, like I was telling Fred. He was touching everybody's belief systems. And then what he would do is
Yeah.
grab you and he would draw you in.
I
And then
know,
what,
yeah. I remember you talking about you didn't like him playing the
the emotion,
heartstring factor. Yeah,
right?
emotional factor. Yeah.
He's playing the emotion factor to just grab you and bring you right in. And then you're kind of stuck, and now you're a viewer, and you want more of Rio. And yes, he does talk a good game. He does talk good. He presents himself good. But if you
He
notice,
does.
if you really notice, he's educated a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But when you go ahead and start talking scientific phrases and scientific methodology and so on and so forth and ideas that you have, and you claim to be ADHD, how can you focus on all of that? So I would notice that he would go off on these tangents and start talking about how Sasquatch does this and does that and does this and does that, and he's got this whole perspective and this whole theory line, like he scientific phrases because it can be this and it can't be that, and all of a sudden it's like he would catch himself, and right when he'd catch himself, he would like stop and be like, but like I don't really know, and I'm new to this, and I'm ADHD, and he played that card just too much. Who cares if you're ADHD? Normal people go get some meds, and it doesn't matter if you're a doctor or a Sasquatcher. You know, if you're ADHD, big deal. And in the beginning, there was one video way back, he stated, being ADHD, I might be involved in this for 4 to 6, 7 months, and then I might just quit and be tired of it. And then I move on to my next thing because that's what people who have ADHD do. Well, I think you're a grown-ass man, brother. Like, why aren't you taking the meds to get it addressed? So, as my grandma said, I'm gonna post this language here. If it smells like honey, it's honey. If it smells like shit, it's shit. And to me, something smells funny in Utah. I can't prove it, but if you start adding up all this as a regular researcher and you back yourself out of it and just look at it from a broad perspective, you'll start seeing red flags pop up on a
Yeah.
bunch of different things, like ding, 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 and it's like, why? You know, it just, my perspective is, I don't know if he's hoaxing. I'd like to see who analyzed it. I
Yeah,
was
that
actually,
do you think you can get a hold of Fasano?
I can get a hold of Fasano. Or I could ask Dyer. Dyer could get a hold of Fasano. I could probably ask Fasano myself, but
Yeah, I think
I don't.
Fasano's scared to talk to me.
I don't know if he'll give out the information, but he said the big guns.
The
So
big
he,
guns.
whoever the big guns are, I know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
I
do
know
we believe Fasano?
Ryan,
I would.
you remember, you,
I would believe Fasano if we can
Yeah.
have who analyzed it and what they found out and how they did it.
right. Now, here's Fasano talking about a guy hoaxing a video when 2 years ago, Fasano and his partner pulled a disappearing stunt claiming that they might have been kidnapped by the Florida skunk ape. They claimed cops was out there and they couldn't find them. He went under the radar for at least 3 to 4 months, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's back making videos again. So now, why should Fasano jump someone's ass for doing something that he did and then try to come back in like nothing ever happened? Because
Well,
because when I
there's always a fine line. So you never know what, all we see is entertainment out there, and that's what people lose perspective on. What we're doing right now is entertainment.
yeah,
The real what goes on behind closed doors, people don't see what me and you talk about, or you and Connie talk about, or me and Lael, or me and universities, or me and certain researchers, or me and
uh,
audiologists. We don't
right,
really know what's going on. We just get this thrown at us in a broad perspective, and we just take our own opinion, and it's like, well, whatever.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
So,
But yeah, you got these. I mean, I know who the big guns are. And as far as I'm concerned, all these big guns saying we're this, we're that. Well, if these big guns call
I'm a
themselves,
big gun. What are you talking about?
if you call yourself,
Yes, you are, Ryan.
no,
So's
no,
Fred.
I'm talking
So's
about,
Connie.
I'm talking
But
about
I'm
these,
not.
I'm talking, yeah, yeah, I'm talking about these guys, who come out with books and videos, and I mean the guys who every time you turn around are making a documentary or something like that, and
Hey,
they,
I'm in a documentary, and I want to do another one.
well, let me put it to you this way: when they say they are a Bigfoot expert,
No.
I will call them they're full of shit.
Yep.
Yes, I said it. SHIT capitalized.
Yep.
There is no experts in Bigfooting.
Nope.
Nope.
It is all theories and what's that other word? It's all theories and guesses. Uh,
Speculation.
And
right. And if you
speculation and opinion.
and if you have not been out there, like me or Connie or Ryan or Daniel, where we put our foot to the ground and we have our experiences. Connie showed it today. She got one on video. She did what I told her to do. She got one on video, well, on camera. But she got
Yeah.
one, so she's out there doing it. But you got people who sit on their ass, and say, well, I don't know, I'm a Bigfoot researcher, what? If you're on a computer, you're not a researcher.
No,
Hey, I
what it
went once.
is they think that they go out once a year and they're a Bigfoot researcher. I'm not saying Lael has her own situation. You know what I mean? Like it's totally different, but she does a lot of research online, and you are very opinionated, but you don't go and blast people online.
No, I
That
don't.
right? That's the right way to do it. You know what I'm saying?
And exactly.
And
And I have drug my butt out one time, and I experienced a lot of things. But I don't go on Facebook and run people down and blast people out. I
and
don't think you
that's the thing
should.
too. That's the thing too. Any newcomer, a couple of years back when I was a newcomer, and I still get grief every time you turn around. You're a hoaxer, or who you talk to, or you get a good video, or you get a good picture, and you're hoaxing, and you're this, and you're that, and so on and so forth. And honestly, I'm
You
just
can't
tired of it.
you can't win.
That's kind of why I stopped sharing, and the only place I share is on my site, Bridging the Gap Between Sasquatch and Woo. Once in a while, I'll share something if it's good, but otherwise, it's just my page and my 1,200 followers that are there.
I love it when you go live out in the woods, and if I can catch you, I'll watch you live.
It's awesome,
I love
you know.
that.
People get to experience the woods from their couch.
They
You know,
can't.
Well, and I know you, and I know what areas you've talked about and what area you've been to, you know, so I have a little bit of background information.
Yep.
And I love to watch you live if I can catch you live, you know,
Yep.
in the woods. Hell, I watch Fred hours walking in the woods. Barb and Gabby, Connie. I can watch people walk through the woods for hours. It's just mellow and easy, and I enjoy it. And what they find is cool, you know, and I enjoy it. But I'm gonna get out and do some more.
I hope so.
Believe me, Fred's gonna drag me.
Fred's gonna hold you to that now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but right now I gotta hit North Carolina, I gotta hit Kentucky, I gotta hit West Virginia. Um, I might end up hitting Ohio later on in the fall. You know, if I can work it like that. But right now I can't do anything until after the 25th. I gotta find out when I have my MRI, my X-rays, and the other thing I don't like talking about. I don't even like it
Yeah.
and everything. You know, but you know that will
If that
determine.
all turns out good, you're on the
Yeah,
road for the summer.
yeah. And I'm also going to try to find me a $700 Ford transmission and a 208 transfer case, so I can
Oh,
have my two-wheel drive back.
oh
Daniel messaged me. He's on his way. He just woke up.
Lord.
Yeah, he was up pretty late last night, man. You know, but I will
Poor
tell
Dan.
you, no,
Poor
no, I will.
Daniel's had a rough week.
Yeah, now I will tell you, folks. Daniel, when me and Daniel went camping, and it rained the first 2 days we was there, but I got some tracks, and Daniel got some good evidence, and he's got some damn good audio, real good audio from right behind the camp
Cool.
and everything.
I'll be right back.
All right, BRB then. Huh.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, you know,
What's the next question?
people try to,
Yeah, I'm like,
they get out there, and they try to, you know, or they go out and they try to, go out and to be researchers, they don't realize that number one, you got to know what you're looking for. Number two, you got to know the signs. Number three, you got to know your wildlife. You got to know your wood area. You got to know what type of trees that they like to hit on. Uh, they always travel to streams or near water. Um, uh, they're very, everybody knows they're elusive. Yeah, you can walk right by one and never even see them and everything, But they're very intelligent creatures,
There's
and,
Daniel.
yeah, and people's got to realize, to be a Bigfoot researcher, you've got to know these things before you go into the woods. Anybody can go in the woods and go walking, oh, I hear a squatch. Now, how in the hell do you know it's a squatch? You don't.
You got to be able to separate it out from if it's a squirrel or a deer or a pine cone falling
Right. It's
or
like when you
whatever.
right. It's like when you go hunting. There's one thing that drives a hunter nuts, and that's when you're in a tree stand waiting for a buck. What's the first thing you hear? A damn squirrel.
Oh yeah, tons of
Yep.
them.
Yeah, yeah. So I see you made it back. I see you made it back alive, Daniel.
Yeah. Hey, I must be at the wrong show. I'm looking for Lee Woods. Where'd he go?
He had to work.
He
He had to
had
work second shift.
he got called
Ah,
in. He got called in, man. He
man.
he he messaged me at 6 o'clock and said that he was ready to come on the show, and they called him at 5 minutes till and said he had to work. He
Man, I've
said
been.
and he said he had to do a show tonight, and they said, "We don't care. You're gonna fill in for this guy." So he's got to
Man,
pull a 12. She's got to pull a 12-hour shift.
man, I've been there. I've been there quite a few times. Other jobs, you call you in because they're short of help. Someone else called in. You got to go in and fill in for a spot. Yeah,
That's that's
yeah, I've
why
been there.
that's why I don't like working inside of plants. I'm an
Yeah.
outside person.
Oh yeah.
You
It's one thing
know,
I don't have to worry about that where I'm at. That's why. I'm first shift. If you need help on second shift, you get someone else. You hire somebody.
yeah,
So.
'cause you know,
Okay, go ahead, Fred.
no, you go ahead, Leo. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so Daniel, how much of your story do you want to tell, and how much do you want to wait to keep until Monday?
Well, I'll pretty much leave it all for Monday. I went ahead. This is something I'm gonna try something new. I didn't even upload no photos. I mean, I might upload couple of them, but I was gonna upload all my photos through screen share. I think it'll be a little bit different. That way, we could all maybe discuss them and go over them together. Um,
Well, that's cool.
yeah, because I know like especially the tracks. Fred's familiar with the tracks, because he's seen them in person too. So I think that should be interesting if we wait and go over them in person, and share them together. Um, see, I'm trying to think. Uh, see if there's anything I might be able to share.
We
So
we have sure prayed and felt bad for you.
tell you what, that kind of,
You
it's just,
seem
I guess
like
it added to
you.
the adventure, that's for sure.
Oh yeah,
Well,
definitely.
I know, and you laugh at it later on,
Oh
but
yeah.
about Wednesday, you were like a little sad lost puppy. I mean, you didn't so much act that way, but it was like that underlying
Oh
us
yeah.
women, us women folk could tell, like that poor baby.
Well,
Bless
it's
his
not.
heart.
Well, the
Well,
funny,
it's.
the funniest thing was out of the whole deal was when I had to pull him 2 miles and he had to go backwards. That was
Oh,
funny.
well, I'll tell you what. That sucked because it's a dirt gravel. It's a gravel dirt road. And you got to watch your curves. And some areas have a low drop. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to drop down. You just if I drop down, you're stuck. There's some areas there's no pulling me out of some of those areas. But
No, I don't need to turn right. I need to turn left,
yeah, it was kind of awkward because
like
it
my
took
like
ne-
back in a trailer.
it
my
took about
neck is my neck
it,
is still hurting because I try to look behind me, but then I'm trying to use my mirrors and then I have to turn behind me because if I turn slightly the wrong way, then I lose him and I can look back and say where'd he go? Because it's because I'm turning the wrong way and yeah.
Yeah.
well,
So
we made it back to Campo and everything, and
yeah.
I mean, he had the worst breakdown of any breakdowns that you could have with that daggone blazer. The main thing that they needed to keep it going stopped working.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm glad Fred. He knows what he does. I mean, he knows his mechanical work very well, and I'm glad he was able to pinpoint it and finally like eliminate all the other obvious possibilities. But I don't know if you got my message, Fred. I did price it. The paper,
Where, where'd you price it at? AutoZone.
yeah, AutoZone full
Advance is 250.
250 for that whole thing.
Yeah,
Then
250, 215, 252, somewhere in that category.
because this here was a part because there's two parts that usually they sell separate. There's
Yeah,
something to do with the pressure thing and then the spider thing.
yeah.
But yeah, but this here all together with both parts combined already, the other
Oh,
part already
okay.
on it was like 315.
They
So
gotta and they gotta order it.
yeah, well actually no, as far as I know they had it there.
Oh,
He didn't
okay.
mention nothing about ordering it. I
Oh,
said,
okay.
well, and I got a buddy of mine that yeah, he said like he asked me, he said, have you found a way to get it out of there? I said no. I said, as far as a tow truck, I said I'm not going to be able to afford a tow truck, even even if they offered me a very low price. I said I don't have no money to tow it. So right now he's actually he said I got a few connections. He says let me call a couple people. One of the people he's calling is in his family.
Okay.
So he may be able to get a tow dolly. If he can, he said we'll go down there Monday evening and get it back to the house here. So
Yeah. Well, as long as Ron Jackson don't get a hold of it.
yeah. Well, I mean, long as no one messes with my camp. I mean, it's set up like I'm still camping as far as anyone else knows. But so
Right. Yeah. Just trying to keep it like that and everything, But
yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, me and Daniel, we had some good experience. I found a couple of GB tracks, and I found that big pile of scat and everything. So it wasn't a total loss. I mean, I've seen some big bear tracks, but it was apparently whatever it was that made that scat pile right there where it was at, and that little shelter was the you could still feel the heat from them laying there.
mm.
That's the fun thing about it, though.
Oh, I will mention this that sound that I have recorded
Yeah.
right after you left. It happened again, broad daylight, right after you left, and I found out what it was.
What?
You know how we had that there was a buck over there that was blowing because he jumped
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah.
It was a young doe. Apparently, I think there was a buck messing with a doe. Cause
Yeah.
yeah, I went
Yeah.
over there and there was yeah, I didn't see it, but you could tell it ran off through the bushes. And every time I went over there, that buck was still,
Yeah.
blowing over there. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when I left Tuesday, about 50, just right on the other side of the next camp, there was about a 75-pound doe
Mhm.
coming over toward it. Because see, when after I played that cast, I come out, I followed a trail, then I hit a fence row that took me right around to back into the second camp, and
Hmm.
that doe was right on the other side of it coming in. So that's apparently that same doe just coming over behind your area, behind the camp there, over where the river is, where the stream, whatever is.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me check something here.
Yeah. So Connie, while Daniel's checking that out,
Yeah.
what's your future plans on some new? You gonna try to improve uh how I showed you? You're gonna try to
Yeah.
try to beef it up?
I'm gonna try to video it next time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be prepared for it next time.
Yeah. But like I said,
No
when you
more
when
cameras. It's gonna be video this
yeah,
next time.
when you hear it, make sure give them about 5 minutes of following. Let them get comfortable following you. Then
Yeah.
just stop and say, "Damn, I feel like I'm being followed," and say, oh well. Make sure they hear that. When you speak loud, they'll
Yeah.
stop and listen because chances are they know what the hell you're saying. And then you just walk for about
Oh
maybe
yeah.
a minute, and then stop dead in your tracks and listen. When you hear that crunch, then you go into action and everything.
Well, this morning it followed me for an hour before I took that picture.
Ah,
Connie, you got more guts than me. I ain't going on out there. Not as much activity and whatnot as you have. I would like to go to your house and stay and maybe walk with you and Fred or a small group, during the day.
no,
Yeah.
no
But
group, no,
you
no groups, no
you've
groups.
got
3 people's it.
you've got what?
Three
How
people's it.
many?
3.
Fred said
That's what I said.
Fred said he wants a
Fred.
threesome. Fred.
Well, I don't know. He's gonna have to talk to a couple other people about that. But I'm just saying, Connie, you got some guts to go out, and you're doing a good job. Now we got Connie laughing again.
Hey, Connie, there's a question on the live chat
Daniel,
for you.
Yeah. What's
Okay.
your all right, Con? What's your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
My YouTube link, I have no idea. It's just
I
I don't keep up with the link. I just post
you
them.
don't? Okay. Okay.
I just post videos on YouTube under my name.
Okay, because Gabriel wants to.
Well,
Yeah, because Gabriel wanted to know what your YouTube channel was. I guess just go to her
Oh, I
Facebook.
have never paid no attention.
Yeah, go to her go to her Facebook, and that's where she posts all her pictures and videos and stuff. It's on her Facebook.
click on a video, and then maybe that'll give you the YouTube link.
Connie Fox's YouTube channel is Connie, capital E, Fox. Yeah.
Oh, that what it is.
Connie space E Fox.
Okay.
So there you go. I just looked it up. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, all right, then it's not that hard to do. Cool.
Look at the hey Leo.
What?
When you talk, look at the camera. So that way, when someone else is talking, you know when to talk. You got your head down there. And you're doing your crochet, and someone's talking, and you just go right over top of them.
I'm sorry. Okay. I won't do it anymore.
You know, Daniel, you're gonna get me killed. You know that.
How is this?
You gonna get me? Never mind. You gonna get me killed.
I don't understand how.
I'll explain later. I'll explain later.
You talking about wanting a threesome? I don't know.
Come down here, baby. Sure,
He didn't say that. You did.
Oh,
Daniel.
I misunderstood.
You misunderstood. You're the one that said it, not him.
Right. Okay.
Moving on.
Okay.
Let's move on.
All right, Daniel. I got a question for you. Have you seen the Rio, Utah video?
No, I haven't.
You remember one night last week that me and Nikki was talking about it, where it was two brothers went out and they had two dogs, and all of a sudden one brother disappeared, and the guy it's called I think it's called a puddle video or something like that.
Oh well,
it was called the Wallow.
Yeah, the Wallow. Yeah. Well, Tim Fasano popped up on live audience again, and he called him out and called him a hoaxer.
Okay. That Utah, I seen that video posted.
Have you seen it yet?
I didn't watch it, but I seen a link where someone said Utah something is considered a known hoaxer.
Right. Well, go to that video and listen to what Fasano's got to say.
Okay.
Now, here's the good part. After you hear everything, Fasano puts up a page on his video, and you can't read what the hell it's saying.
Huh.
You know, it shows a Facebook page there where his buddies are talking or something like that, you know, but you don't see anything else, you know. And what they're saying he did, he took an audio infused what's that word called? Amplification.
Amplification.
He infused the video. You know, like he said, like Fasano said, he said I had squatches that 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or 3 o'clock, and it was all going off at the same time, you know. But if you look at the video that me and Connie looked at, you could see where was his brother at. Rio had his dog next to him, but his brother's dog was running around like it's happy-go-lucky. You know, and everything, you
Yeah.
know. And it was kind of odd, you know, because usually when you got dogs in the area and you got squatches in the area, the dogs are going to get damn nervous. These dogs, like they didn't have a care in the world, you know.
Hmm.
That's what we were discussing, you know. So,
Okay. So
and
basically, if you're saying if there were squatches in the area, those, of course, the dog would have acted or reacted a little differently then.
exactly because
Okay. Which
because
that makes sense.
right, because if you see the video, you see his brother's dog, which is like a Labrador type. I mean, like a German Shepherd type dog. You see him, his tail's going about 100 miles an hour, and he's just having a joyous time running around. You know, he's
Mm.
near, but you hear sounds off to his left. You hear sounds to the right, and you hear sounds to the other side. You know, but the main sound you hear is up to his left. And if you listen to the sounds close enough, you can tell it does not have any guttural status to it.
Right.
Sounds like someone going whoop whoop, and they even had some that made it sound like a baby squatch, and it didn't sound anything like what me and you heard
Oh yeah.
and everything, you know. So Pisano, and I guess he calls the big dogs of Bigfoot world, went after him. So
Yeah.
Rio took everything, every video he's got off the computer. Period.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I thought I'd share, I'll show live right here is my bear track. Uh, yeah, I thought I'd show everyone my little bear track right here.
Yeah,
So,
that's about 100. That's about a 50 pounder.
well, I don't know. That's actually I don't know, as big as my hand. If I open my hand.
Did you ever
Fred,
get
it
did
weighed 10,000 pounds, Fred.
right? Did you ever get that? Did you ever get that other track? That
It
other
was the
plaster?
biggest damn bear I ever saw in my life.
Yeah,
It's
man.
wait a minute.
Moved
Hold
57
on,
miles an hour in 3 steps.
hold it, guys, hold it, guys. Daniel, did you get that other track up?
Which one?
The one else behind that one.
Oh no, I forgot all about that one. Yeah, because we were letting it set up because it was because it was so thin. I didn't because like you can see how thin because the surface. You know, if you look very
Wait for him.
closely, you can see the pad right here a little bit in the toe pads, but it's just because it was imprinted in the mud. It was so firm, but it was enough to make it was heavy enough to make this little bit of impression. So.
Okay, Gabriel asked a question. Daniel said, "What compound is used to cast tracks?"
Well, I just use regular plaster of Paris, either from the hardware store or the craft shop. I mean, it's all
Yeah,
the same.
yeah.
So,
And Ryan, you use that industrial strength, don't you?
I use
yes,
what's called Hydrocal 50.
Right, you use industrial stuff.
Yeah, it's better than dental stone. It's like 4,900 psi or 5,900 psi. Cause like
Well,
that's a problem that you get when you're making thinner tracks, they'll crack.
yeah, but here's the thing. It depends. All right, like the surface that Daniel got that track on has been driven over about a 500,000 times, you know, and it was wet, but it was hard as a rock, you know. So basically, what he got about 2 dime thick, about 2 dimes, maybe 2 dimes
yeah,
thick on the cast, you know.
yeah. If you get an idea, it's like, well, the thickest part of this cast right here is the pad of the bear's front paw right there.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Now, if you know how to mix your plaster right, you can go to a kitty store where you get to where they use it in schools, and it just depends on how you make it, how thick you make it, or how thin you make it to make a good cast. Hydrocal's good, but it's just an overrated plaster to me. I used it when I was government contracting.
I like it nice and thick, Fred.
So you like it pancake batter times three.
I like it super thick, Fred.
Pancake batter times three.
I like it as thick as you can get it, Fred.
That's times 3.
Cheesecake.
I'm gonna have to go to New York and nail his ass one time.
This damn group, this group is getting way funky.
Well, I know Ryan.
Hey,
Ryan talking about he likes them thick.
hey, I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You said you like them nice and thick.
As thick as they come.
Exactly.
I'll remember
Hey.
that, you guys. I'll remember that.
Hey, don't get Connie started. Because you get her started laughing and she can't quit.
Oh, I had her going a while ago. I had her going. She walked right into. She said something and realized she walked right into it.
Y'all missed the other night after the show. Oh, God. She got tickled and laughed 5 damn minutes. So did the rest of us. But that's good.
Well, that's okay. Early, I stuck my foot in the mouth.
Oh, Lord.
I love
Well,
those.
that's all right, too. That's all right, Connie. We all do it from time to time, and it's all right.
You know, that brings up. You know, that brings up a good point. You know, when you go out squatching, you know, you can go out and you can have a blast. You know, I mean, you can have all sorts of fun because all the fun you're having is drawing the squatches into you to see what you're doing. People don't think about that, you know. The more fun you have, like when I go out, I act goofy as a box of rocks, and I don't care because I get reactions. I get satisfaction.
Yeah, but you
I
don't
tell.
need to go ahead.
What was you saying?
I was gonna say, but you don't need to take a whole damn marching band out like the Finding Bigfoot crew.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they take out 50, 60 time now. When I hear something blow your whistle, bam! Oh, it's a deer. It's a deer kill.
Hey,
Oh, look, that
did y'all
bug's broke.
see? Ryan posted a great thing with Bobo and Cliff the other day. It was hilarious.
What happened to
Uh,
Bobo's hair? Did he lose a bet?
It was just after later on, go to Bridging the Gap and scroll down a little bit. It was Bobo and Cliff, and it was just go watch it. It's not very long, but it was funnier than hell. That was a good one, Ryan.
Well, that's cool. But you know, yeah, Bobo's cool. I like Bobo. Cliff, I like Bobo. I mean, Cliff, I like Cliff. I don't like Matt. And
Matt.
yeah, Renee, I can tolerate. You know,
Yeah.
I've never met her in person. You know, but
I mean,
yeah, you know, ever since the Virginia group busted into my area twice, I have no use for that group whatsoever. None. Because I told them they were stepping on my toes, and they said, "Oh well, that's not
Yeah.
good." I mean, like, if I go to Daniel's area, I'm gonna say, "Hey, dude, I'm gonna hit your area tonight." You know, he'll say, "Okay." And if he wants to come down to my area, he knows where it's at. He can go down there. I don't care, because we're all doing the same damn thing, you know. And my camp is right in the middle of all the action. Even though some people are scared to leave the camp for no reason. But we had, you know, it was a
That
good
would
time.
be me.
Yeah, we had fun. We had rock stone at us. We had wolves. We had owls. We had
I
orbs.
what?
We had orbs floating
Oh
around.
yeah. I wasn't scared to leave the camp. I didn't feel good enough to leave the camp on Saturday.
Hmm. Hey, Fred.
But I had plenty of experience in the camp. Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, I just want to mention. Gabriel wants to send some pictures to
Okay.
share on here.
Tell them.
I
Send them
told him
to.
to,
Send
yeah, I
them to
told
me.
him to send
Yeah.
them to you. Since
Okay.
you're
So
the host, 'cause it wouldn't work if, like I said, it wouldn't work if I was to get them.
okay. Now what
If you want to try to, yeah, if you want to try to screen share, that'd be great.
Okay, now what I have to do is I have to go off my questionnaire thing because I won't have it no more. So I'll just go to Facebook right here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It,
Okay,
I don't know. Are you friends with him on Facebook or?
I guess I am.
Hold on, Fred. There's a question on there, live chat for you. You want me to ask? Read it to you?
Yeah, go ahead because I just took it off.
Okay. Uh, Fred, do you think the hunting in your Coal Road area affects the number of Bigfoot sightings?
Is it
That's it.
repeat that question?
All right. This is a pretty good question. He says, Fred, do you think the hunting in your Coal Road area affects the number of Bigfoot sightings?
Not really because when rifle season gets here, they're gone. They move on up. They move up to the top of the parkway and migrate, and they stay up on the parkway where no hunting is allowed. Now, you'll see them during squirrel season, early rifle, like squirrel season. You'll see them in bow and you'll see them in black powder, but you will not see them during rifle season. They are smart enough to get the hell out of Dodge in my
Hmm.
area. I can't say anything about Daniel's area, but my area they haul ass. Because
Well,
they know how people are there.
well, from my observations in my area, I know, because it's a lot of woods to retreat to. I mean, they have the parkway, to retreat to in your area. Well, from my observations, they do go up on the higher ground. They stay on the higher ground. Although I actually have seen fresh sign, and I think there is a very few that do stay low because I have seen, fresh signs down below, but I
Yeah.
think the bigger boys definitely stay up on higher ground during that time period. But I tell you, one thing I will share with, and I'll probably mention again on Monday. They were very active this week, and I mean, you can see signs of all of them all over the place. Big and small.
Yeah, well, the first day I was at the camp, I had just had the camp set up. I was waiting on you to get there, and I was going back in the woods and getting my poles for the tents. I mean, from my tarp, and I was hearing whoops, hollers, and yells come from
Yeah,
across the road. And I mean, they were back. You could tell they were way back there, but they were loud.
yeah. Now, most of what I heard was over down towards the creek and further down straight behind the camp. So yeah, that's most of where I was getting a lot of my activity. So
Now I tell you, when I was back there, I seen a lot of activity back there. I mean, far as structures, footprints. I mean, I seen a lot. I mean, I seen a ton of prints, but they was in the leaves. Where you could tell what it is, but you couldn't cast them.
yeah,
Now that first print you got was in the pines, but it was just luckily it was in a spot where we started digging, and all of a sudden we started feeling hard. So you took and cleaned it off, and you made a hell of a cast because I was fishing with your dad then.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
I still have a little bit more cleaning to do on the one because I was like the small even this bear track. I mean, this came out pretty clean looking to show the detail real well, but I mean, the bigger ones, I got the bigger ones sitting over there wrapped up right now. But
yeah,
yeah, I need to take them outside and really take the pressure into them,
yeah.
with a garden
Well,
hose.
yeah. Well, by tomorrow they'll be good and firmed up and everything, good and
Yeah.
hard and everything. And everything. So that'll be
So
good.
yeah, I'll take care of them soon. But yeah. Overall, regardless of the breakdown and everything, it was a pretty good week. I'll have to give it that much. Even though the first couple of days it was kind of boring out there, not getting nothing, hearing nothing. I mean, but it
So,
worked out pretty good.
Daniel, Michael never made it out.
No, he had truck problems himself. His
Yeah,
yeah, he said it would start up and then it would start up when it wanted to, and because he drives a diesel, because he was going to bring the horses out, but
yeah.
he don't know if it's the glow plugs or what. But it starts up and then it'll shut off while it's running, and yeah.
I checked
So
in with him about Tuesday maybe,
Mm,
and said because he had posted a few things on
right.
Facebook, and I sent him a message and said, "Are you out camping or what?" And he said, "No, my truck's not running right, but my cousin's gonna take me in a little bit."
Yeah.
And I never heard anything more about him being there, so I thought, well, maybe he didn't get there.
Yeah, he was supposed to have his nephew take him back up. His nephew was going to come up. His nephew was very unreliable. Didn't he couldn't get a hold of him and didn't know what the heck was going on. So he was his nephew.
Yeah,
Yeah, his nephew was kind of giving him the runaround more or less. So.
he acted like he really wanted to go though,
Oh yeah,
and
Yeah.
he
he's
just
been
couldn't
wanting to
get
go for.
there.
Yeah, he's been wanting to go. Um, Fred, let me ask you a question, Fred. My
Okay.
next camp, my next camping outing, is going to be September, and I was giving it
All
some
right.
thought. And I thought it maybe be easier for anyone that wanted to come. What about doing it on the coal road in your
That's
area?
fine with me. That's fine with me, man.
All right, because I
Anybody,
think
anybody, yeah, anybody can come. All I ask is, we break off into groups of 2 or 3 max
that's a good idea.
per
Yeah,
per area, because when you get like 5 or 6 people in one area, you're trying to go through. You got people stomping through there. They're talking. You tell them be quiet, listen. They're like, "Wow, what do you hear?" I don't like that. When I go in the woods, with a bunch of people, I want them to, they don't have to, but I'll say, look, listen to what I'm telling you, because you're going to learn something here. I'm going to teach you how to listen to these guys and how to do this and how to do that, to a
yeah,
Me and
point.
Beth, me and Beth might be able to get a trip together by September if we start working on it now, because we both want to go back again.
see,
Well, I'm gonna try to get to. I'm gonna definitely have that camp spot, not to where we was at, the one right in the middle there. That one where that guy had his tent set up and never showed up.
I'd like to have the one closer to the road.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But it's right at the same, it's still right at the stream and all that. It's just
Yeah, yeah,
a little further over.
yeah.
well, here's the dates. What do you think about September 2nd through the 5th?
It
It's a
sounds
Friday,
good, man.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
That sounds good.
All right.
Because Sharon Day might show up too, because she's gonna start traveling. She's gonna start out west, and she's gonna be back here to Virginia in September.
Because I could get
Con,
out. I could get out there that Thursday and get set up Thursday. So
Right. I
the
can get out there
first.
anytime. I can get out there anytime and get it set up. But I
Oh
gotta get
yeah.
the,
the
on-
I
the,
gotta get the
only, the, only, the only thing with me and Beth is Jill getting back in college.
Yeah. Because I know around that time
Um,
a lot of kids will be back in school around that time. Some might just be going back to
yeah.
school. So
Well, James is homeschooled, so that don't bother me.
right.
I can take him to my sister's or whatever. Uh, but Beth's daughter Jill is going into her sophomore year of college, and they have to have more crap figured out and classes and all that shit. Connie, do you think if there's any way you could come up to the western
I
end
could
of
try.
Virginia?
I
If
can
you
give it a
had
try. I'm not sure if I
it,
can.
it, if you had the rest of June and July and August to kind of save up, some gas money,
That's what I was thinking
um,
about doing. Try to save it.
I can feed you.
yeah,
Um,
because I
there's
do
no
most of the
problem.
yeah, because I do
Yeah,
most of the
for your
camping at
food.
the I do most of the cooking at the camp when I got time.
And we didn't do it so much last time, but we ended up just buying turkey and Swiss and bread and ate sandwiches. But Fred did, and that was fine. But Fred did bring a good breakfast and cook it. But we'll me and Beth will bring groceries, at least sandwich stuff and,
Oh yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
thing. If you can come up with your gas money, we'll feed you.
I'll try to come up with gas money. I'll start saving next month. That way I make sure I got it.
Check
That way I
out
can get
how
up there.
far it is. Well, you can talk to Daniel and Fred about the location, how far it is. But I like chatting with you a lot, and my cousin Beth has seen you a few times, and she likes you a lot too. And if you could come, that would be great. God, we could sit around the campfire and talk for hours.
Yak, 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 yak. That's what I
Yeah,
hear.
yeah.
And
Fred,
then
I might even.
Hey, better go yanking it. Like somebody over a spider.
I might even go walking with you, Fred.
All right.
But
Hey, I just
If I
broke out into
come,
a
I'll
quick
make her go.
sweat.
but if you could come, Connie, it would be cool. You got like 2 months or 3 months to save your gas money, and that
Oh,
would
yeah, I should
be
be able
all
to
it
save it.
costs you. Bring a carton of cigarettes with you and a case of beer and
Back up on that last part. Remember?
oh
Remember
you
the remember
okay. If you
remember the,
bring
remember that.
beer, if you bring beer, you have to hide it.
Yeah,
yeah.
that game warden is
You
she
can
is
drink,
a,
but you gotta hide it.
yeah. You're like Leo. She hides it. She hides it right out in the open.
Sometimes, hey,
Exactly.
sometimes
I
it's the
just,
best. That's the best way to hide
just
stuff.
stick some shine in there.
Yeah,
Man,
there you go.
I'll
man,
Some
I got.
stick
Kentucky
some
shine.
moonshine in there and water bottles. They'll never know the
Hey,
difference.
hey,
There you
I
Unless they
have.
take a
go.
swig of it.
Yeah. Hey, I got some Hatfield McCoy's moonshine. A whole fifth of it that I've had
Oh,
for
Lordy.
about 7 months. I ain't even touched it. And I
Well,
got a
Oh, man.
and I
that's
got
cause you
half.
can't drink.
Hey,
Well, I got
Fred.
yo.
Yeah, Danielle Jones was asking. He says if we're still interested in coming up to investigate. Um,
Pennsylvania.
she's no, she's over in Delaware.
Oh, Danielle Jones.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Because I told
okay.
her, I said, yeah, absolutely, but of course,
It
it would
depend.
have to be, yeah, it would have to be on a weekend, of course, or something.
Depends
Yeah,
on time and money.
Yeah,
yeah, cause yeah, yeah, because mine is the third or fourth of each month. That's when I could spend. That's when I could do stuff. Oh God,
yeah.
I just broke out in one hell of a sweat.
Are you all right?
Yeah, it's called hot flash.
You going through menopause?
Hey, I don't know.
Connie.
It happened about. It started about a year ago. I'll be sitting here, and all of a sudden, I would break out
That's
into a hot
menopause.
sweat. I don't know what it is. I'm dripping.
Ain't that menopause, Connie? That's a sure sign, isn't it, Connie?
That's exactly what he's doing. He come through menopause. Wait till mood swings start.
I have no
I
idea
done
what the
been,
hell
I
it
Then
is.
done,
he gets fun.
I done been through mine. I'm
I
done.
have, I have, I have no
So
idea
that.
what it means. I have no idea what it means, man. My shirt is dripping right now,
Or,
but
or
it'll
He's
Fred,
last.
going through the change.
What?
Fred. Well, think about it like this way: once your menopause is over, I mean, no more monthly periods.
That's right. You're free. You're relieved and free to go the rest of your life. I've not had one in 5 years. It's great.
Well, I have no idea. I mean, it don't happen that often, man. But when it does, it's like, God damn, it's hot. I don't know what it means. Shut up, Connie. Look at
You
she's
know
crying
once you get
laughing.
Connie laughing, she can't quit. Oh, I love it. God, it tickles me so good to see somebody laugh. All
I
Y'all
have
was
no
too bad
right,
in
she's
1994.
wiping her eyes.
Hold on. Let me unmute the audience.
I have
Oh,
no
Lord.
idea I have no idea what it means, man. But yeah, it's
Just
irritating
don't
as
go through
hell,
the
man.
most ways. You'll be all right.
Yeah,
Look at poor
look
Connie.
at her wiping her eyes.
All right,
You
I'm
know,
back.
Fred,
Oh my god.
it could be because you're looking at me.
What are you
Hey,
guys
Ryan.
looking? What do you got?
Ryan says
Never
back.
mind.
My computer like froze. The screen froze, and it wouldn't let me like do anything.
Was your computer having hot flashes?
I think so.
Oh my God. You-
Look at Fred pointing.
Now I'm gonna choke too.
This is gonna turn
Okay.
into a sex show.
I don't know. Sounds
Oh
like
God.
the facts of life.
Oh
It's
my
only
god.
It's only PG though. It's not R.
You guys are nuts.
Oh
Poor
Lord.
Connie.
Okay,
Oh
we got
God.
okay, we got 10 more minutes to
Okay.
go. We got 10 more minutes to go before the show's over with.
All right. You
God.
cooled off, Fred?
Yeah, I cool off.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get you, Connie. I'm gonna get you for that. But yeah, folks, uh
Yeah.
seeing while we're thinking about it, I was asking before you come on, you were still sleeping. Um have you had any rockstone at you and try to divert you from what you're doing? Like
Uh,
if you see like if you see something on your right and all of a sudden you hear something on your left, you turn your head and look around.
as far as a rock being thrown, this only happened to me one time, and that was last year. That was actually, the other campsite next to where I was camping at.
Yeah.
Well, across the woods over there, where I got a couple of tracks I cast there.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going down in there behind where it's thick, that's the only place I've had a rock thrown at me. I was actually facing. If you go in the woods, I was actually facing the direction of the road where I was looking at a possible structure. Well, from behind me, where it's real thick, all the bushes behind me, the rock came from behind me. It landed right next to my foot, and that's the only time I ever had a rock thrown at me. Now I have been in other areas, not near that area. The other area where I go and I like to investigate, up on the high ridge. Um, I've been up there and I've had tree knocks, you know, happen from when I was in the area observing, area. I had a tree knock that got my attention to look elsewhere. Um, so I mean, I've actually been in a situation where I was distracted, where before that tree knock, I had what sounded like a loud, sharp whistle, and my attention was brought into that direction. And after not hearing no movement or nothing, when continued to walk another maybe 20 yards, is when I had a tree knock to the on the opposite side of the log road. Um, so apparently I felt like maybe my attention was trying to be thrown off course. Because I know they were in there. Apparently they knew I was there and I was being watched. But besides that, that's about it, really. Um, I right now, right offhand, I can't think of any other incidents where I might have been distracted, or you know something was trying to take my attention off elsewhere. But that was the one time I did. Like I said, that one time I did have a tree knock. So
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
yeah.
Miracle Mama Connie was crying while she was laughing. Hmm.
Don't get me started again.
Now, Daniel, was that ridge near Brokeback Mountain?
Yeah, actually, it was. It was.
Yeah, it has your name written all over it, Ryan.
Oh.
Everywhere you look, it said Ryan Redding's Ridge.
Payback's hell.
Be
Wait
careful
a
what
minute.
you wish for.
Oh God.
Fred, are you gonna come visit me, Fred?
What?
Are you oh, don't talk to me like that.
So what?
y'all get Connie started again, and she'll never quit. Bless her heart.
The show's almost over anyway, so have some fun.
What?
Well,
There's nothing wrong with having fun and squatching.
oh no, it's a blast. Man. I like it. I'm an oddball anyway when I go out.
Did you just
I
call
have
yourself an oddball?
Well,
Yeah, I'm an oddball when I go
aren't
out
we?
because I get reactions from it.
Aren't we all oddballs since we go out looking for Bigfoot?
Well, I'll tell you what. If you go out and you're like 100% a soldier going to look for Bigfoot, you ain't gonna get nothing.
Soldiers.
If you go, because the Squatches are not gonna be interested in you. Okay, here's a question from Tiki Midnight. Does anyone of the group have any videos and audio recordings? Well, yes,
Yeah.
Valley Big. Yes, I do. I'm Valley Bigfoot and Daniel Benoit, ECBRO 98. Those are our two YouTube channels. Go to them and you will see the audio. Well, you'll see the
Does
videos and the recordings.
And
Ryan has some too, doesn't he?
Yep, I'm Western NY Bigfoot on YouTube, and you can also check my Twitter page, which is DOUBLER Doubler 2011 on Twitter, and then Bridging the Gap on Sasquatch and Woo, and you can see a lot of stuff I share there. I share from SoundCloud also.
I'm hearing a lot
There
of.
you go.
Are you
And
out?
Connie
Are you out?
has a
I'm
Are you
Connie
outside,
has a
Fred.
I thought so. I heard wind.
that was a big damn gust.
That was Fred
Yeah.
talking.
Anyway,
All hot air. All hot air.
Tiki Midnight said, "Thank you, sir." I said, "Okay, you're welcome." Okay, folks, we're gonna wrap this show up here. Like I said, my name's Fred Caney, Valley Bigfootin' inside of Virginia Squatch, and we got Daniel Benoit, BECBRO 98. We have Ryan reading at his YouTube channel, and we have Connie Fox from Kentucky and Leo Pelt from Bath, North Carolina.
yeah,
So Daniel, anybody got any last words?
yeah,
Bridging the
make,
Gap Between Sasquatch and Woo is my Facebook page, Fred. And
Yeah.
Western NY Bigfoot on YouTube.
Okay. Connie?
Remember that.
Thanks everybody for
Like, yeah,
watching.
have fun.
Okay, Connie.
Yes, have fun.
You say your YouTube channel is capital CONNIE Fox.
Connie E. Fox.
Connie E Fox, okay. And Leo, what about you?
I don't have a YouTube channel.
Oh, that's right, you don't, do you?
I just hang on y'all's coattails.
Oh, okay, okay, cool. All right, anyway, folks, that is the show.
wait,
Never mind. Wait a minute. Hold on. Daniel's got something to say.
yep.
Go ahead,
I just
Daniel.
want to make sure everyone make sure you tune in Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be sharing my evidence and we'll be discussing everything that happened this past week. And that is, like Fred said, on my YouTube channel, ECBRO 98, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, and then I do have, I will be posting and putting together more the videos. I gotta upload my SD cards, so there will be new videos being posted very shortly. And I don't know if I'm gonna try to work on one tonight. I don't know. And SoundCloud, check out my SoundCloud under my name, Daniel Benoit, Benoit, and number 7 after that. Don't ask me how the 7 got there. But my SoundCloud under Daniel Benoit 7. So you can check out that and go into my playlist of Bigfoot evidence. I have all the different vocalizations under there that I had from the past. Some of it's known wildlife. So there you go. I just want to make sure I threw that out there. So all right.
Cool
Okay.
deal.
Okay, folks, that is the show. So join us Monday night at 7 p.m. and we will be around. So y'all have a nice